Hello, everyone. A few days ago, Godswill Akpabio, the Senate president, came out to say that Tinubu had given 30 billion naira to every state in Nigeria to tackle the issue of hunger that is in the land. First of all, is it about throwing money to this thing? Where did this money come from? Is it the same way of usual print money and just dump money in the economy or all of that? But anyway, that's not the main thing. What we are hearing now is that governors are coming out to say that no money was given to them. Let me start with what Akpabio had said and the report here. He said governors received 30 billion each to reduce hardship. Akpabio. The Senate President Godswill Akpabio said an unverified report indicated that state governors, unverified, is it freaking kidding me? If it's unverified, why is it coming out of your mouth? Are you a newspaper reporter? Are you a newspaper housing or whatever? Indicated that state governors received 30 billion each from the federation account to solve to reduce inflation and the high cost of food in their respective states. Last September, the federal government said 2 billion was released to governors out of the 5 billion loan it offered to each state as a palliative to cushion the effect of removal of fuel subsidy. During the plenary on Tuesday, Mr. Akpabio said information available to him indicates that apart from the first tranche of funds given to the governors, an additional 30 billion was also given to them through the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS). And even for him to be talking, for Godswill Akpabio to be talking about this in such a manner, this is the Senate president. And even if, for example, that report was correct that 30 billion had been given, he didn't find it strange that the executive, this illegal executive, could just go ahead and do this without actually coming to seek approval from them. And I don't know whether Akpabio doesn't understand that there is actually separation of powers. His duty is not to protect the executive or to be slaving after the executive. Actually, the legislative arm of government is supposed to checkmate the executive and put the executive on his toes. The executive on a normal day really doesn't have power. Yes, they are the ones who handle the money and all of that, but they don't have power. They seek their power from the legislative arm of government. But unfortunately, what we have are members of the legislative, and the legislative arm seem to think that they are sort of like slaves to all of these people. So, and I just say the president advised the governors to utilize the funds. This fund that you say unverified, you've not bothered to verify, you've not done the needful you're supposed to do, but you're here advising them because, of course, as usual, you guys always want to shift your responsibilities. The Senate president advised the governors to utilize the funds judiciously to reduce the high cost of food items and other challenges facing the country. We believe that every state governor should utilize the funds received towards ensuring the food is available in the country. One thing people don't understand is that putting more money is not what is going to solve the problem. The higher the money in the economy, what is going, I think is that the cost push inflation or is it demand pull inflation? What is going to happen is that this thing, the prices will just keep going up. The prices will keep increasing because the main thing they're supposed to tackle is how do we get this food? What is stopping, what is reducing the food? In the last few years, the whole food basket, the states that are really the food basket of Nigeria have been under attack, as if it was deliberate to put hunger in Nigeria. And we kept shouting about it, we kept talking about it, but of course the government didn't want to listen. And then there were sycophants who were defending the government in every way that you can possibly think about. And then they just think that, oh, throw some billions there. You end up buying a bag of rice for 1 billion naira if you think it's just by throwing money down. He said, so the state governments have a lot to do because the federal government, the illegitimate one we have, they don't want to do the thing they're supposed to do. They are closer to the people, and I do not want to mention local government because most of the local governments are controlled by the state governors. He was once a state governor anyway. My belief is that if the state government does what is needed, then the local government will be involved in sharing to make sure that these things get to the people. But we must not overlook the fact that Nigerians are not going to be interested in stories. Nigerians want action. Nigerians want to eat, and we provide food for them. There's no excuses despite what we made. So they've reduced us Nigerians to just a matter of food. It's food. As long as Nigerians' tummy is full, shikena, you can do whatever you want to do to them, anyhow you want to do to them. People are talking about so many things, conquering space, doing so many things. All they're thinking about is just put food in their bellies. But anyway, I don't blame them. It's not the food now that a lot of people that hitherto have refused to speak on the issues. That's the thing they are now are speaking on. He now talked about Mr. Akpabio also referred reference protests staged against the high cost of food items and the cost of living in different parts of the Nigeria. And he said, I'm trying to see, of course, there are different things that had come. The Senate president claimed that many of the protests were sponsored by some group of people against the federal government. Anyway, I don't have time for this kind of people who really don't even know what is it that is worrying them. So we have earlier today, or was it even, no, that was yesterday, Seyi Makinde, Oyo State Governor, coming out to say federal government didn't give states 30 billion each. Makinde replies Akpabio. Gangam. And then from Punch, the report goes as follows. Oyo State Governor and Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, Seyi Makinde, on Thursday, declared that there was no truth in the claim by the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, that states of the Federation got an additional 30 billion each outside of their statutory revenue allocations to address food insecurity in their state. A statement by his chief press secretary Suleiman Olarewaju in Lagos, the state capital, said the state has not received any 30 billion from the Federal Inland Revenue Service or the federal government, and that his administration has been and will always be open and transparent to the people of the state. The governor, who added that he has been doing everything to cushion the effects of the economic hardship on the people, warned the leaders one that leaders could instill confidence and hope in the citizenry in this trying to, rather than playing the blame game. And I totally agree with you. They're just trying to play the blame game and then shift responsibility from themselves and then sort of like push. This is like pitching the people against the state governors, as in go and meet them, go after them. After all, people are closer to their state governors than they are to Abuja here, where there's an illegitimate president. And so this is a very highly irresponsible statement from Godswill Akpabio. Makinde stated this in Isheyi, where he commissioned the newly renovated multi-billion-naira Isheyi Central Mosque, facilitated by a legal icon, Ahmed Raji San, hailing the religious harmony in the state as exemplary. I was waiting to see whether it was the state that built this. My heart had already done. If it's the state that is building this mosque for this amount, then it's a private person. Yeah, private people can do that. They want reward and all of that. But states have no business building all of these religious edifice or buildings or whatever using public funds. The only fund that Oyo State got from the federal government outside of the statutory allocation was 2 billion out of the 5 billion promised to all states in the wake of the removal of fuel subsidy, adding that the federal government had even been asking for the refund of the 2 billion. Oh my goodness. Makinde added that his government has been doing its best to mitigate the hardship on residents of the state, having been the first to announce and implement measures to cushion the effect of the hardship through sustainable action for economic recovery. And then he goes on and on and on. But the crux of the matter here is that honestly, Akpabio has really been irresponsible in such a statement he's making when he wasn't sure of his fact. He's saying that, oh, hearsay or whatever. This is the fake news that we always talk about, and those of them in government are the always most time purveyors of this fake news, just trying to shield themselves from responsibilities, to not abdicate their responsibility, push blame on others, and pitch the people against the state government. This is honestly, this is highly irresponsible. That's just what I would say at the end.